My qualifications are that I'm certified in several martial arts by some of the world's foremost authorities in martial arts. I'm an associate instructor under Guru Dan Inosanto in Filipino Kali in the Junfan martial arts. He was Bruce Lee's basically main student and the only person in the world to have all three certifications under Bruce Lee. So I'm an instructor under him. I'm also a full instructor under Sifu Larry Hartzell in Junfan Jeet Kune Do grappling. He was also a Bruce Lee student, and I am the 8th person in the world to reach the level of full instructor, or what's known as Ajahn in Muay Thai, under Grandmaster Surachai Surasut in the Thai Boxing Association of the USA, which I also serve as the director for the state of Iowa. I opened the Dubuque Martial Arts Group mainly because I was training martial arts and I was competing in martial arts in Muay Thai and kickboxing, and I wanted a place to be able to train the specific arts that I was interested in studying. And so my training partner and I, Tim Mosel, decided the best opportunity was for us to do our own thing and continue our training, and then bring what we were learning back into our own gym where we could refine it and drill it and learn it ourselves and perfect it, and then share it with our people back home. I've been training fighters since about 1996. Is when my first fight team started, and since then our first national champion was in 2000. I was actually the first fight team member for Team Singto back when I won my titles back in the early late 90s, and then started training fighters once I retired in 1995. I retired and then I started training fighters in 96.
As I basically feel like I'm in the best shape of my life right now. I'm kind of at the peak of my growth in my martial arts career, so yeah.
When I graduated from law school, I weighed over 220 pounds, and so now I'm in better shape than I was in high school, and it's a great stress reliever after work. Law can get pretty stressful, so I'm in the best shape, and physically and mentally, that I've ever been in.
It's different from any other sport. You're working different muscles throughout the entire sport of martial arts.
Everybody's a little different, but the main thing I like to get across is the work ethic, that to achieve something great takes great sacrifice, great determination and discipline, and a lot of hard work. One of our tenets that we use is that we will not be outworked, so our fighters and our students, for that matter, all know that you have to put in the flight time, so to speak, to become that pilot. You got to put in the hours of flying lessons to get a pilot's license, right? So the same here. If you want to get excelling in the martial arts, you got to put in the time in the gym. You got to work hard, because nobody's going to hand it to you. It's got to be done by being in the gym every day, sweating, working hard.
I definitely got a very, very solid, disciplined work ethic from the wrestling program at Dubuque Wahlert. Also learned a lot about respect there, and was able to apply it in the gym here.
When I was at Wahlert, I played volleyball and basketball, and I loved being a part of a team, and I've really missed that. So I've brought that in, and everybody here is so great. We push each other and we help each other, and it's the team aspect has been great. Someone
has to express an interest in it, because it's not for everybody. And I kind of watch how they train, kind of see if there's some natural skill there, natural ability, natural toughness, some natural power. And, there's students that I've approached and said, hey, have you ever thought about fighting? There's students that have approached me, and sometimes it's not for them. Once they get a taste of sparring, it's not for them. They just want to train. People think, well, if I take martial arts, I'm going to get beat up, or I have to spar, or I have, No, that's not the case. Not all of my students spar. Not all of my students are on the fight team.
Main thing we do, we prepare for a world tournament, 10-week training camp, every day, working out as hard as we can.
The biggest thing you can do is listen to your coach. It's hard to do because you start to focus and you block things out, but listening to your coach and hearing your teammates out cheering you on and giving you advice, and then realizing that that's a move you can do, it's very helpful.
We're all like a family, and everybody just pushes everybody week after week, and nobody lets anybody give up. That's the biggest thing here. We all have each other's back, but we're not going to let each other slouch either.
So tired and you run out of breath and you feel like you're gonna puke or pass out, but then you hear the person next to you pushing hard and you're like, I can keep going, I can keep going.
I got to learn how to do martial arts and become part of something and become part of a brotherhood and a culture. Most people that watch us fight, they only see the 10 or 15 minutes that we're in the ring or the fun, flashy stuff on the movie, but they don't see the 10 to 12 week camp that we put in here, 6 days a week, grinding each other, beating the heck out of each other, just getting each other mentally and physically prepared. Nobody sees that, so I would say that the difference between the movies and training in here is it's night and day.
We train harder than in the movies. A lot of people don't see like the dirty work that goes into it. So, some of the training we do isn't super cool. It's just the stuff, the basics that brings results.
It's a combative sport, but it's also the oldest thing that we humans have. You can say Roman Greco wrestling, but really it's the competitive nature, the human will to want to be the best at something, and just being able to take that mental aspect away it makes it less barbaric. I don't think fighting is a barbaric sport. If you do it competitively and only in the boxing ring, only to be competitive in with somebody that's doing the same thing as you, I beg to differ. I don't think it's unnecessary at all.
It is more of an art form. Martial arts teaches a lot more than just the combat perspective of the sport. It has many more things to offer than just fighting.
I walked out of here with a black eye 2 weeks ago, and my parents weren't thrilled, my coworkers weren't exactly thrilled, but it was almost like it meant I did something and I proved something to myself that I could keep going, and if ever a dangerous situation comes up, I know I can handle myself, and that makes it all worth it.
Well, the martial arts have been necessary since the beginning of time because you've always had to learn how to defend yourself. Every culture has some form of martial art. I don't care what continent, what culture, they've had some kind of martial art warfare to protect themselves. In ancient times, they used different kind of weapons, obviously, than they do now, but there was always a need sometimes for the hand-to-hand, once the weapons were down. So in this day and age, there's still danger. You still need to be aware. You still need to be able to protect yourself, right? So it's not a waste of time because you can gain so many things from martial arts. Self-defense is only one piece of the puzzle. A lot of people through martial arts get fitness. They make themselves healthier. Some people, it's a social thing. They come here, they got a group of friends that have a like interest as them. They bond. And they use it as a social a thing they do. I could think of a lot of worse things to do than come to a gym and get a workout in. Some people, like some of the kids, they get self-confidence. Maybe they're not a great athlete, so they're not the stud on the soccer team or playing t-ball or whatever, and they get maybe, left aside. Here, it's a team effort, but yet it's an individual thing, and everybody is at their own pace. So they can come in here and be successful and feel that reward that gets, and that builds their confidence, which runs over into other parts of their life. And some of them just need a little discipline. Some of them need a stress reliever. After a hard day of work, coming in and hitting the pads and stuff lets you decompress so you don't go home and blow up at your wife or your husband or yell at your kids. You get that stress out. So martial arts has so many things to offer. It's not just punching and kicking, it's not beating people up. That's a misconception. Martial arts has a lot of things to offer, and each individual has many or just a few of those things, but yeah, it's for everybody. Regardless of your age, regardless of your fitness level, it's for everyone.